Whoa, folks, we are back. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode 1, recap. Why am I shouting? You know what? I know why I'm shouting, because it was a damn good episode. It was funny as hell. Well, by the way, welcome to So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. This is your pal Ryan. You can tell I am hyped. I just watched this Salt Lake City episode a third time, and it keeps getting funnier each time I watch it. Sure, yeah, I'm upset about a couple of things, as I always am. I'm a crotchety old man. Yeah, did they gang up on Whitney? Yeah. No. Whitney doesn't deserve that, folks. You don't get to cast Monica out and then think that Whitney is the next weakest link. No, and praise to you, Angie K, for leaving with Whitney. I mean, Angie K, the props used to bug me last season, but the scroll, chef's kiss on the scroll. It reminded me a little bit of Louis Ruellis's when he made that big parchment paper of all the ways he loves Teresa in a season of New Jersey. Listen, the prop, I'm so excited to be back. The thing about this, and I always say this about Salt Lake, and it holds true, but this still is like a David Lynch film. It's a fever dream, but it is one of, like, last season was a David Lynch fever dream where it was kind of scary. This is like a David Lynch comedy. If he wanted to try his hand at Waka Waka, this is truly, there are so many delicious little, oh my God, did I just say delicious? But there are so many delicious little, delicious little moments in this. And this is what happens when you have a team of women that each have their unique talent and abilities. I mean, even if in the course of this recap or this season, even if I come down on a character, just know I truly love most of these. I love all of these women, but I'm telling you, no other cast has these kind of unique personalities. By default, Heather Gay here is the reliable narrator. And for me, that got ruined because I still hold true in the belief that that whole reality Von T's final episode where she got to do I still hold true that that was something Heather already had on the brain, that was in the works. I do not think production knew. I mean, I think they knew and just didn't care. The reality Von Tease of it all, let's just get that out of the way, which, by the way, Monica Garcia got announced today that she is going to be the voiceover, the narrator of House of Villains Season 2, premiering on E very soon. And they had a commercial during the show because she even makes an appearance on the show. And that's NBC Universal. E owns NBC Universal. So that means that they're keeping Monica in the family. Like, they're holding out hope that these ladies will eventually be okay with her coming back. So I think it's a little gift they're giving her of here's a little job over here. We want to, KIT, keep in touch. But I think once you get past the disappointment, and some of you guys aren't disappointed, but I personally was, once you get past the disappointment that Monica is not on this cast, because I really thought it would have been great. Like, if you're going to gang up on Whitney, why don't you all gang up on Monica for another season? You would actually get a lot of mileage out of that. And I would have really loved to have come to some sort of clarification about the reality Von Tease of it all, because at the end of the day, I'm just like, wait, is it a troll account? I mean, you know how many troll accounts there are for Bravo on the internet? Like, really, a troll account? Like, I see it to a degree, but I don't see it to the Emmy-worthy episode that came out of it. It was like the production level was so high that I was like, holy shit, she must have killed somebody. She must have killed somebody. This Monica Garcia killed people. And there's like, oh no, she ran a troll account with 3 other people, and she was obsessed with Jen Shah. I mean, isn't it funny too, you guys, that Jen Shah, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't mentioned once in this episode. You had Monica a couple of times. I think sometimes that's the biggest slight of everything. If you're somebody like Jen Shah and you're behind bars, you don't want to be forgotten. You want things to go as poorly as possible on this show so you can eventually, once you've served your time, make a triumphant return. And I got to tell you, the show does not miss Jen Shah, or at least how I view the show. it's like without even a speed bump. In fact, I would go so far as to say when Jen Shaw was on the show, he made it even way more lopsided. I mean, that's it just didn't blend well. But this cast blends. And I mean, Bronwyn, really hats off, a fantastic first episode. And then, of course, we have the Heather Gay's friend, which we'll get into, who's been with a Osmond family member, and I think they broke up like 16 or 17 times. Another great addition. Tells Mary about putting rolls in her purse, and Mary's like, "That's disgusting." I mean, Mary Cosby pulling off a comedic performance in the first episode. I got to tell you, just from the bath bombs to the to Meredith's boobs growing exponentially every year. I feel like it's almost like Pinocchio. Like every time Meredith lies, her boob gets bigger. I actually don't think Meredith's a liar. I'm going to take that back. I'm sorry, Meredith, if you're listening. Also, I do want to mention that at the top of this as well. If you are a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast member, please don't listen. It's happened before. People get their feelings hurt. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I mean, this is our safe space. This is me and you guys all like talking about this show that we watch and being silly like we're on a group text and we're just saying the most inane, bonkers things. So I do want to say I truly love, like I would say 90% of the 95, like I love this cast so much. And even if I disagree with their behavior in an episode, like I think there's a couple moments that Lisa Barlow, I can't make that leap to her logic, but I need everybody to know how deeply I love Lisa Barlow. Like Lisa Barlow is so, like I said all of last season, so unapologetically herself. To be that, to be the just to be you on screen is so hard. And I truly believe we are seeing Lisa Barlow on screen. Do I agree with everything that she does? Hell no. But man, I mean, she's magnetic on the screen. She was on Watch What Happens Live afterwards, and I even ate that up. I want as much Lisa Barlow as we can get. But a lot of the times I don't agree with her logic. But man, this show would be so much less without her. So yeah, this is just us, you guys, talking shit, having a laugh, and we'll see where this goes. If I'm doing an imitation of somebody, realize that these aren't note perfect. I mean, it's pretty damn close, but it's not. And I know I always get, you don't sound anything. I'm not trying. This is just the voices I hear in my head. So we got those ground rules out. This is not meant to be offensive, but it's probably going to be offensive at certain points. I apologize in advance. But let's have Meredith say something that she hasn't said in a while on this show.
I want to go for the jugular and talk about the rumors, the nastiness about her. Well, we can do that. You know what? You want me to go there with her husband? I can go there. Don't. With me. Okay, tell her to off.
Don't fuck with me, Jerry. Fuck off. Wait, guys, you have a little time. Can we play that again?
If I were to go for the jugular and talk about the rumors, the nastiness about her, well, we can do that. You know what? You want me to go there with her husband? I can go there. Don't.
Back
with me. Okay, tell her to
fuck off. I mean, that legitimately is a better fuck off than Brian Cox did as Logan Roy on Succession. He'd be like, fuck off. But Meredith Marks were, fuck off. You can leave. I will say one of the biggest disappointments of this episode for me was we didn't have any Seth Marks. Hey, how you doing there? It's me, Seth. Where the fuck was I in this first episode? I'm over here in Canton, Ohio, working on a very successful business. I've got hundreds of people underneath me. Sorry, Meredith, I misspoke. I just mean I work with hundreds of people. And I guess I missed the start date because I'm not anywhere to be seen on this freaking show. Come on, please. Please. I miss Seth. I missed him dearly. I worry for Meredith. I can't wait. I mean, this is just the first episode. And it was, like I said, there were aspects of this that I didn't want to like because of the Monica Garcia fallout. And they did it. They killed it. They killed it. I mean, a seamless introduction to a new housewife, a friend of. It picks back up. I mean, it was kind of bizarre because, it was so intense at the end of the season, and now we're having a Bezos party, Bezos. And at this point too, is Vita Tequila doing good? I feel like we've gotten more product placement about Vita Tequila than we do Loverboy, and that's saying something. And I feel at this point, is it the number one selling tequila in the world at this point? Because I feel at this point, it should be. It should be. In fact, Lisa asks at one point in this episode, is like, do you want a regular drink or a Vita drink? And I was like, I would be so scared to say regular drink. You've got to drink Vita around Lisa Barlow. That it's probably illegal because she would judge the hell out of you. And Lisa, I heard what you said about podcasts in this episode. Now, listen, Nick Vialli, I get that's, you can dislike that, but just to say you don't like podcasts, the hurt you have caused tonight in the podcasting community. People out there just talking about you guys and loving the show, and then you cut us off at the knees. The way you spoke so viciously about the art of podcasting. I don't know if you were necessarily encouraging censorship, but I felt censored. I felt censorship. I felt very censored, and I felt like Lisa doesn't want us to do what we do. Lisa doesn't appreciate the art form. Like, I appreciate Vita Tequila. I appreciate that she doesn't like angles. She said she doesn't like angles tonight, and I'm like, I can accept that. Like, I'm not, I love angles. She doesn't. I can accept that. We all have our differences. But just to say you hate podcasts, that kind of hurt. Especially this year. It's been such a tough year for me. And then to hear that, tough one. Am I still blocked by Heather Gay? I bet I am. Am I, or did I? Anyway, I DM'd with Whitney, and I DM'd with the new girl, the new lady Bronwyn, and Whitney was like, "What do you think about the show?" And I was like, "It's really funny. It's really funny." Anyways, we should just get into the recap because I could just tell you broad thoughts all day long because it was just perfect. We needed this. I don't know. Like, I felt like there was something missing in my life, and I think maybe it was this episode. So tomorrow I'm expecting to have a completely better life at this point. Also, if you like this show, as always, please consider rating it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're listening from Jeff Lewis Live, what up, chumps? I was on with Mercedes Javid today from Shaw's and the Traitors. And she was at Dancing with the Stars. She went to support Phaedra, and she was there with like Johnny Bananas and Tamra and Eddie. And Mercedes cracks me up, man. She is so on top of it, but at the same time, she's really like, she can act like, I can't tell if it's an act. She'll like act like flighty or kind of like, oh, I forgot that. It is such a interesting balance. And I think that's why I love Mercedes so much, because that's another person like Lisa Barlow that is just themselves. And those are the people that I'm so into as characters on these shows. But anyways, we had a fun extended today. I don't know if the audience ever really likes it, but it's a good thing when I'm like having a good time. I have such a good time being there. So it was really fun today. And to hear about the Phaedra of it all and how good she did last night on Dancing with the Stars. I only watched her and I watched Anna Delvey. Those are the 2 dances I watched, and maybe I'll get more into it, but I just wanted to watch them, and I voted for Phaedra. I was very excited to do that. So hello, chumps. I wanted to say that. Patreon, what up, baddies? I put out an hour and a half Vanderpump Rules season 1 finale episode where I go off on Jax, as I always do. It's kind of one of my greatest hits. So that's over there. Q&A episode I'm working through. I've had a little throaty issues all of this week, I think, from traveling. So it's been a little difficult. I have to talk in spurts. I was talking about it with my therapist today, which is another, like, that's the interesting thing. Like now I just like, there's just hours of time where I'm like, I'll be talking for that full hour. I'll be talking for that full hour. It's a weird way to live your life. It's like the best job I've ever had, but it's sometimes a little weird because you're like, ooh, I have to conserve my voice here, or I have to, and used to, I just felt like my voice was limitless. And now as I'm getting older and the sinus issues, you're like, oh shit, you got to really take care of yourself. And that, if you've been listening, is not my forte. So sorry, the Q&A episode, I'm trying to get finished tomorrow. So look forward to that on the Patreon. And there's some good questions. And I have a lot of stuff that I want to tell you guys over there. We're also doing a Patreon live Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's there. We got some great guests coming up. Shout out to Betches. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, we did that Diddy episode. I released a Diddy episode late Tuesday night. Reading the indictment. We had Trisha LaFosh, a New York defense lawyer, on for a minute, kind of explaining the detention center where Diddy is being held. He got denied bail again today, which I think is completely the right move. So that was an interesting episode. And then Scott Seiss, who wrote The Customer is Always Wrong. He is so funny and such a good guy. He was on today where I explained also my entire job history since I was in high school. So go check out those episodes. We also had Sophie on this week. So those are all waiting for you if you ever need something to listen to and you've burned through all of your other things. You're like, you know what? Let me just listen to this episode that I didn't think would be good. You never know. You never know. So should we do it? Should we get into it? Okay. This is Season 5, Episode 1, The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And this title, it's the episode title is called Costume or Couture. And this is maybe one of my only complaints, is that I felt like obviously this is a reference to Bronwyn and Mary's conversation with the friend of. So it is, that's the reference. And it was really really funny scene. But I just think it could have been like Reality Von T's Who? ? Like, we don't need Reality Von T's. We got our own thing going. Like, I wanted something like that, something big. Costume or Couture is nice, but I feel like that's an episode 3 title. Now, this is the description the cable company gives us to give us clues on what we're about to embark on this voyage. And it says, Lisa celebrates Valentine's Day by throwing a Bezos party. Meredith confronts Whitney. Both Angie and Meredith seek apologies. Lisa's friend Bronwyn brings a new level of sophistication, fashion, and a critical eye to the group. I've been complaining about some of these descriptions when I read them over on Peacock because they're like, they're usually like 10 words long, and they usually pick the least interesting scene to put. This, I would almost say, too much. I would almost say, where's the edit? Like Lisa's friend Bronwyn brings a new level of sophistication, fashion, and a critical eye to the group. I would just say Lisa's friend Bronwyn is pretty cool. Like, I mean, we don't need that. But I mean, overall, a great description. Got me excited for the episode. And by the way, next week's episode, we already have episode 2's title. It's Basketball, Bobbleheads, and the Brow Girl. Now that's a flipping title. That's like the girl with the dragon tattoo. Are you kidding? Who's the Brow Girl? I'm going to be thinking about all week, waiting to find out the mysteries of the Brow Girl. Basketball, Bobbleheads, and the Brow Girl. And Bobblehead makes me think that Mary has something to do with it, because doesn't she go like Bobblehead to Whitney a lot? So there's something with Mary right there. And it's very exciting. Sorry to tease that, but I just want to let you know what we're in store for next. Okay, so we start off this episode and they do something a little different in terms of, your normal intro. Like, this feels like it's shot by like Martin Scorsese. Like, this is so filmed, this opening. It's like this like meticulous drone shot. It's like it's Citizen Kane, Orson Welles, Touch of Evil. And it starts off, they're on their set. And for like the nerds out there, this is how they shoot these talking heads. If you look at this shot, they have like a tarp with the background, which is somebody's house. And they have a light, they have a microphone overhead, they have like another light, and they just have a chair. And that's how they shoot these talking heads. So it's kind of exciting to see this, but the dramatic music immediately plays, right? And, they go, we're rolling. And we see Heather come into frame. And then we see Whitney come into frame. These are like separate shots, and they're all like kind of getting mic'd up. There's crew people entering, Meredith checking her phone, Angie K, which, by the way, you guys, in preparation of this, I was trying to do some research about the cast of Salt Lake. And I found this little tidbit, and I don't think it's really come out yet. And please credit me if you do use this in any kind of post, is that Angie K is Greek, We're back, baby. My first Angie K Greek joke. It felt good. Okay, so then Heather Gay, we're back to Heather Gay, and she's sitting there, and she looks like Valley of the Dolls. She's in this like pink Barbie dress. Her hair is perfectly coiffed. She looks a lot different than how we saw her at the end of last season, and she's just sitting there, just wide-eyed, just sitting there, ready to speak. And we hear this voiceover, and Heather goes, signing up to be a part of a television show, every part of your life is exposed. And then we see these these zoom shots of like a Salt Lake City street, the mean streets of Salt Lake City, you guys. This is a bad place, Salt Lake City. So we see one of the streets, and then we see like a shot of Heather's home, and that like zooms in on Heather's home. And Heather's voiceover continues, goes, we let people into our world, into our homes, into our lives every day. And we see Heather like in the house now, putting on some earrings in a mirror. This is so highly choreographed. I mean, it's kind of perfect in so many ways. It is, this is a written scene. I mean, it is, and I love this series. You guys know, when I love it when they take themselves this seriously. We let people into our lives every day, into our homes. Like, you get a check for this. Are you kidding me? You begged to be on this show. I read your book. Are you kidding? We let people. I am Mother Teresa, and we let people into our homes, and we deserve the Medal of Courage. She continues the voiceover. We choose to share what most try to hide. I think actually that voice part is done by Bronwyn, if I'm not mistaken. And then it goes back to Heather, and it says, and then we wait for the world's opinion. Which, Heather, just say it. And then we wait for the memes. And then we wait. Oh, this is what Reality Von Teese has done to us. This is the world that Reality Von Teese has created. We're being hunted on all sides. We can't stop. You could quit. No, it's not a possibility. We're locked in this Salt Lake cage. I can't do it. You can quit. No, you don't understand. Okay, and then we have the normal choral music, but it's even more intense. It's like, oh, 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 oh. Like, it's like nipples fully hard. Like, I was like, just goose pimples everywhere. And we see like an overhead shot, and it just kind of goes over Salt Lake City. And we zoom into another house, and this house is Whitney's house. And so Whitney is back, and she's got a new house, baby. This is a house that Bath Bombs built. I love it so much. Sorry, I just lost my place. Hold on once. So Whitney's walking around her new home with like a a cup of cozy time tea, and she's like, she has her little kind of baby voice, but she's really more on her voice. That's why my voice teacher used to say it, like being on your voice, really a lot stronger. You can tell she's trying to go an octave lower in this voiceover. So usually it would be like, we tell our deepest, darkest secrets. Instead, she's like, we tell our deepest, darkest secrets. And like we see her looking pensive on a couch, and then the camera zooms out across a Salt Lake City lake, and then we're zooming in to another house, and this house is Angie K's, and it has like the white marble everywhere, and she's like chopping up veggies, and her husband's like petting the dog as this camera like zooms in, and Angie K's like, "Hopa!" No, she's like, "We share our marriages, the good and the bad," which, there was a lot of rumors put out about her husband last year, but they survived it. He's wearing his little newsboy, his little page boy cap. Hell yeah. Marriage survived. And then we zoom out of there and we zoom into this other house, and it's obviously a rented house. The only reason I know that is because Meredith is in it. Ayo! And they zoom up the stairs, and all of a sudden we land in a bathtub, which I was kind of hoping the camera would like dive into the bathtub, like that scene in Boogie Nights where Mark Wahlberg goes to Burt Reynolds' house for the first time, and they do this great shot where like somebody dives in the pool. Like, it's this continuous shot, and then they dive into the pool and the camera dives in. I wanted to go into that bathtub. We were so close. And Meredith looks completely zonked out in the bathtub. I don't know if she was directed of just like, Hey, Meredith, could we have you just completely disassociate in this tub? Okay, great. You're doing great. Oh, I didn't even hear the direction. No, you're doing great. And her voiceover goes, "We make mistakes and we have to live with them." And by the way, she's burning a 3-wick candle in the background. Does Meredith sell 3-wick candles yet? Or is that like stepping on Karen Huger's toes or Wendy Asefo's toes? Anyways, we zoom out of that bathtub and then we go into like the frosty mountains of Salt Lake. And then by the way, I like at some point I was like, is this the fucking Fast and Furious? Am I in Twisters like 4DX? I was like zooming around. I got nauseous at one point. I've never felt more alive. And then we zoom into Lisa Barlow's place. And the only reason I know it's Lisa Barlow's because at first you see these huge like thirst busters, these 44-ounce Diet Cokes, which I'm assuming is Diet Coke. And Lisa and her husband and her one son, I think it's Jack, right? The Fresh Wolf man. The one not on, is that the one on the mission? Anyways, we'll get into it. But anyways, she's smiling, and Lisa's voiceover goes, "And the people we hold the most sacred are on display. Tin roof, rusted." And then we go back into out of Lisa Barlow's house, up into the sky, and we see Salt Lake, and there's just clouds everywhere. I don't know if this is CGI or not. And it's Heather's voice again. And goes, "So when the world pushes back, we pull together." And they show shots from the season where all these ladies are laughing and playing and dancing. I love that they are really trying to paint this as like a sisterhood of the traveling pants of like, no one knows what we've been through, but only us know. Like it's like the kids in Stand By Me where they're all like, you want to go see a dead body? Like they go through this like really insane experience together. That's what they're like. Just being on Salt Lake City has bonded us. Like I like at some point I feel like they're gonna come out and say that they're like blood sisters, like we did a bloodletting ceremony and we we feel like you just feel it's like very Yellow Jackets, very The Craft. And I just love because they slam each other so flipping hard every season. And then you get a voiceover of like, but when we come together, it's a bond that no one else could ever possibly understand. We will always forever be linked through Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
You can go f yourself. I'm done with her because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and her dumb
Lisa.
family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes. Fake Meredith is a piece of. I have your back and I'm offended by that. You that piece of garbage whore. I hate her. She's a whore. She's half of New York.
I don't even know how that just got in there. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so these people all had like stupendous monologues about each other. And then you'll have this monologue of like, but when we come together, we can move mountains. We have each other's back when it comes down to it. We are the Avengers. And then Angie, there's more like, dancing and hopa. And it's like, Angie's like, it's a bond and a friendship you can't explain. You're true. Like, I can't explain this. It makes zero sense to me. And then Whitney's like, but sometimes that circle of trust turns on you. And then you guys, this is what's going to win it the Oscar. Like, honestly, I will fight tooth and nail for this to be nominated for a best picture, even though it's a TV show. Is that then we see after like this circle that Whitney references, the drone camera. I don't know if this is drone. I don't know if this is CGI. It goes overhead and you see all of the ladies in a circle. All of the, you see Whitney, you see Heather Gay, who's like dressed all in purple. Shout out Prince. You see Meredith, you see Lisa, you see Angie, you see Bronwyn, Lisa, who am I missing? Yeah, no, I think, oh my God, did they put two? Oh my God. I think I just realized because I noticed that Mary Cosby. Wait, who is that? This circle, if you guys have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Shot of the summer is that Mary Cosby isn't in this shot. So they're talking about this circle hood. And remember, Mary Cosby isn't a friend of, she's a full-time housewife. So it led me to believe either Mary wasn't told about this or Mary just flat out refused. Of like, I'm not going to be out in some snow in a circle with these ladies, or like they were trying to explain what a drone shot is. Of like, that doesn't even make sense. I just imagine, or they just like, oh yeah, Mary, we don't need you. We're good. It looks like they doubled up it looks like there's 2 Merediths in different clothing here. So maybe they were like saving a spot for Mary. This is like the Zapruder film all of a sudden. I need to find out more about this shot. If any of the producers are listening, can you please DM me at So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey tomorrow? I would love to figure this out. But she's not in it. And then all of a sudden they do this, and then it was like, white as snow because they're in snow, and all of a sudden it kind of turns a pink hue, and then you guys, it starts rotating. The women start rotating in the circle. I mean, this has got to cost millions. I've never seen something like this. It's going, and it's like a pinwheel. And then we go to a clip of Heather in an actual scene, not part of this whole montage, and Heather going, "Look at us. We have not gotten rid of the problem." Which Heather, please don't tell me Heather's storyline this season is just still like saying she has PTSD from Reality Von Tease. But even from the trailer, we did a full trailer breakdown like a month ago on this. It does seem like at some point, like they're like, you audio taped us, you're wearing a wire. Like they seem very highly paranoid. And when somebody's paranoid, that makes for great television. So like Heather's screaming this, "We haven't gotten rid of the problem." And then they flash back to our first Monica Garcia flashback. And then we have Heather going, "We are obsessed trying to find receipts." Sometimes I am obsessed with finding a receipt, like not the ones that they use in these shows, but like there was one to get out of like the Target parking garage the other day. And like, that actually was a parking ticket. Never mind. Anyways, she says that. And we have flashbacks from this season, I guess, of Meredith fighting with people. And then we continually hear Heather speaking from the same monologue. And she's like, "We poke holes in each other's stories." And then we have Mary Cosby going, "It's a lie." And then Heather screaming at Mary going, "Don't fucking tell me that I've lied." And then Heather in the original monologue going, "We expose each other." And then we have Lisa fighting with Angie K, where Angie K standing up pointing at Lisa, and Lisa Barlow going, "I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck what you do." And then we go back to the spinning, the pink hue spinning of the ladies. And we have Meredith then screaming, going, "I don't want you around me. You record your friends. You are vile. You are vile. You record your friends." And then we cut to a beautiful dinner. It looks like it was in Vegas or something. I don't know. And Heather is saying, "None of us are without fault. So when we disappoint each other, we go back to where we started." And we like rewind everything that we just saw. So Lisa's like, "We go back to where we started." And we like rewind, and it's just genius. And then we go back to Heather sitting down in front of that backdrop with the light and the microphone, just standing there, staring like the Valley of the Dolls. And she's like, "We remember what connects us and pray it won't happen again." And then it goes boom, out. Boom. That's the opening. We're going to pray that it won't happen. You better pray it does happen again. You better pray it happens every flipping season. Do you know how popular that was? You better pray it's happening right now. We pray, "Dear Lord, please, please help us have a good season, but also not too good of a season. Please don't ever let anything about the internet make its way onto this show ever again by a cast member." So you guys, just right there, that's the best opening I've ever potentially seen. Amazing. Thank you. I mean, that's good editing. It's good producing. It's good acting, all of that. And I think this really paves the way for drone shots. And really, I mean, you can already tell that Vanderpump Rules is going to do something like this in the season 12 opening. I can guarantee. Okay, so we open up and we are at a place called Blue Sky Ranch. Looks beautiful. Snow is on the ground. And this is Lisa Barlow. She's getting out of like a big SUV, and she is dressed chic in this kind of like white suit. There's a cowboy on a horse. She steps out just looking fully glamorous, fully Lisa Barlow. And we have that title card intro where it says Lisa, and she's like, where she's like kind of bending her knees a little bit. Can we film new ones of these? You spent like $1 million on that opening. I feel like we could get these title cards a little different. So she's talking to her sister-in-law who steps out as well. She's like, "We're here. I can't wait to show you everything." And we see that there's all these little tables set up. Vita tequila is placed everywhere. And Lisa comes in and she's like, "Oh my God, it looks so good." And we meet Wade, the event coordinator. And I know it's early in the season, but I think Wade might be my favorite like guest star of the season so far. Cause he's like a bigger guy. He's got a mustache. And she's like, "It looks fabulous." And he's like, "Doesn't it?" "Yeah." And Lisa's like, "Okay, let's do this." And she it's only 45 minutes into the party, and Lisa comes in and goes, "This bench, I want it over there." And it's just like we're talking like, it looks like a foot. She's one of those people that seems to come in on a place that already looks completely fine and potentially perfect and go, "You know what? This all has to change. I want everything moved an inch to the right. That's what it's got to be. I know what I'm doing. I'm the queen of Sundance. Let's move this high boy over a little bit." In a talking head, she's like, "Last year wasn't the easiest." And we flash back to Reality of Odd Teas. We have Monica Garcia in that final episode again, 9 months earlier, and Lisa Barlow going, "I never want to hear your fucking mouth again." And like pointed at Monica and seeing like all the ladies hugging each other. And she's like, "There was so much turmoil among all my friends. It's not the first time we've gone through this, but it's the worst time. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. And I think that really brings all of us so close together, except for Whitney." She'll go on to say that in a second. So Lisa is still just kind of going around, making sure everything's like, perfect. She continues, "I just love being in a place where I have friends that I can count on. I can't wait to try the cocktails. I love that I can trust these friends." And we go inside this kind of like barn thing, and it's like this beautiful table all set up. And we have like the words in red lettering, Besos. Besos, which is just fun to say, Besos, and that means kisses. That is Spanish for kisses, folks. Don't say you don't learn anything here. And Lisa goes, "So with Valentine's Day right around the corner, I got the idea to throw my own version of a Valentine's Day party, which I'm calling Besos, to give little kisses to all my girlfriends, to remind them that I love them, some more than others." And that voice echoes, "Some more than others, some more than others." And she does the little heart thing with the hands that a lot of TikTokers do. And we hear that voice echoing, and all of a sudden we shoot into the mountains, and it's just like clouds, just clouds dispersing over these mountains. Very mysterious, very Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. And we get this shot of like a ray, like a lake. And we flash back to a couple weeks earlier, and it's Lisa Barlow inviting all of the ladies to this Bezos party, right? And she's calling certain people. Heather Gay and Angie K are there, and she's explaining to this. She's like, "And I want you to bring all your friends. I'm inviting a bunch of all my girlfriends from my neighborhood." And Heather's like, "Is it just women? Is it just gals?" "Yes, all girls, no boys. I'm inviting Whitney," which was like, I was kind of on the fence because she did this podcast. She was rude about me. She's like, "Lisa's the new villain." And Heather goes, "Zoinks, what?" And then I don't know. There's this guy Nick Viale that does a Viale Fiales podcast, and we hear Nick's voice from February 1st, 2024, and we have Whitney's, just like little picture of Whitney and Nick's voice going, "Have you ever heard Lisa apologize without being dismissive?" And when he's like, "I can't say that I have. She doesn't care about anything else other than being right. Lisa's always been the villain." I don't know. I didn't listen to it, so I don't know if that's like cut up into different sections, but it ends with, "Lisa's always been the villain." And Angie K in this scene goes, "So wait, so how are we going to be when she walks into your party though? I mean, podcasting." And Lisa goes, I'll figure it out. I don't even know if she's going to even want to come. I just don't know. But I'm also like, I need a minute because now I'm mad. And then we hear Lisa's voice again echoing, "I love them, some more than others, some more than others, some more than others." I love when these shows are fighting about podcasts. So we go back to this event, and Lisa is still making these little adjustments. And she goes up to the bar, and the Vita tequila bottles are kind of at an angle. And she's like, I don't like anything angled. I don't like angles. And I'm like, hell yeah. Fight for your right. Stand up. I mean, I'm fine with angles, but I love that you have a take on this. And she's like, let's just make it straight like this. I hate angles. She knows what she's doing. And then we get some upbeat music. We see a shot of a horse. We see the Bezos, and it says Lisa's Bezos party. There's a guy still just on the horse watching people walk in. Is this like a federal agent? What are we? I mean, is this because of Jen Shaw? We always have to have some kind of like state trooper, but this guy's on a horse. And we have people starting to come into Lisa's Bezos party. And, Lisa's hugging everybody. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Come and grab some Vita cocktails at the bar. We still haven't gotten our first housewife. Well, we just did because Mary Cosby is in the building. We have Angie K with this huge like bouquet of flowers for Lisa. Now, in a talking head, the producer asks Mary Cosby, looking stunning in this kind of red, shiny little number. And the producer goes, so hey, let's talk about you and Angie's relationship. And Mary just like smiles, and then we go to them walking in together. Angie K and Mary are walking in together, and I just realized in this moment that Angie K is the Mary whisperer this season. Now, they probably wanted Monica to come back because remember, Monica and Mary were copacetic. They were cool. So that was probably going to be the friend. And then Monica didn't come back. So they had to have a Mary whisperer. They had to have somebody on Mary at all times. And that has been given to Angie K. Angie K, in a sense, is the Scott Disick of Salt Lake City. Because Scott is a great utility player on the Kardashians. He just wants to be in scenes. You can put him in scenes with anybody. He'll do like the stupidest storylines. He'll shoot with mimes. He'll, be like, I just want to be here. What's going on? I don't even need to shoot with Courtney. I just like being around you guys. That's where Angie K, where it's like, Angie, I feel like goes above and beyond. She's like, I am full-time and I'm not going back to friend of ever. So they walk into this together, and Lisa's like, happy Bezos. Mary talks about this in the talking head of like, yeah, I mean, we're just really close and I can't tell you how that happened. And Angie K in a talking head goes, I mean, how did we go from who's Angie? And we flash back to 1 year earlier in Palm Springs where, Mary was giving Angie K a very hard time. That was when Angie K was in her, half of her face was a windshield era where she'd wear those huge sunglasses that, looked like windshield wipers. And, Mary Cosby going like, who's Mary? I'm not going over there. No way. And Angie K goes, it goes from that to us showing up to a party in matching purses because they both have the same purse. I mean, that's cute. I don't know. Is that planned? Do girls plan matching purses? Lisa says hi to them. Happy Valentine's. Angie K says our friendship all started with the lipstick, that she helped me with my lipstick at the reunion. And we see that Mary told her she had a little lipstick on her, on her teeth. And, Angie K was like, thank you. Or no, sorry. Angie said that to Mary, and Mary was like, oh, this girl is actually helping me. And so that must have really done wonders for their trust. And then we flash back to that reunion again, and Andy's like, Mary, who in this group, who do you like? And Mary Cosby goes, okay, so I do like Angie. And, you can tell Angie really likes this. And in the talking head, Angie says, well, to her inviting me to Kathy Hilton's Christmas party. And we see this picture from 2023 at Kathy Hilton's Christmas party, which shout out Kathy making her way onto Salt Lake City. I remember seeing this photo and going like, what is going on? And she's like, now, we've become besties. And this is when Lisa goes, do you want a regular drink or a Vita drink? And Angie K, smart as hell, goes, a Vita drink. Yeah, a Vita. Yeah, you can stay at this party. You can stay. Vita drink. That is the correct answer. Angie K in a talking head says, Mary is soft on the inside and she doesn't show that side to a lot of people. So I'm honored that she has chosen to share that side of herself with me. She brings a realness, like a genuine person, Mary Cosby says about Angie K. She says she brings a realness like a genuine person who cares about me. Like, she doesn't say she's just a genuine person. She says she's a genuine person who cares about me. Like, the me part is the operative, word of that sentence. Um, so we get other ladies that I have no clue. I mean, these other ladies, I want to hear their stories. Like, oh my God, this Valentine's Day party, it was insane. Now we see Heather Gay, and she's like all in this red vinyl thing with like actual like hearts like popping out of the dress. She's walking in. They all look like they're in like fur coats. And she is walking in with her friend Heather. Heather is going to be a friend of this season. And everybody's excited to see Heather. Heather's like, yay, I'm on theme. And Lisa's like, it's not really a theme. It's just high fashion. And then Lisa's like, Heather, oh my God, Heather. Heather told me she was bringing you. What's up? Sorry, Gar. I don't know. Sorry. This is so ridiculous. They're all in fur coats and like vinyl dresses, and it must be so cold. And they're all like hugging each other, and they like, it's like they all hate each other. It's so Heather comes up to Mary, and Mary goes, "You look pretty," and she goes, "And thin," and like drops in the "and thin," which was so. I mean, truly, like seems like she's like. Heather has finally earned Mary's respect with that thin. And Heather in the talking head says, I finally cracked the code. I lost 25 pounds. And now Mary Cosby loves me. I've gone from inbred. And then we have a flashback of Mary 3 years earlier where Mary's in a corner going, Heather has the snobbiness of a true Mormon. She don't even know she look inbred. And then back to Heather in a talking head going, to pretty and thin. By the way, she said you look thin. She didn't say you didn't look inbred. I just want to point that out. She didn't. So who knows? I mean, Mary said inbred there, and she also said you looked inbred last season as well. But Heather says this is a start of a beautiful friendship. And then, you guys, this lady, a realtor comes in named Sarah. And I was a little confused at first why they gave her a little title card, like at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, where it said, realtor. And I was like, why does she get, she just walked in and Lisa's like, hi, Sarah, what's going on? You look so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. You've got to come in and grab a drink. And I was like, that's so weird. Why did she get a title card? And then we found out tonight they had the first preview. I didn't even know this was in the hopper. They have a second, Bravo is welcoming a second Utah-based reality show, and it's called Sold on SLC. And Lisa Barlow is in the commercial for it. And this is a new real estate series. I'm not joking, set in Salt Lake City. It's going to premiere on Bravo later this year. And Lisa Barlow in the video says, did you think SLC had enough drama with the Housewives? And then we have one of the SLC stars, Presidio Real Estate CEO, Jennifer Yeo, YEO. And she says, just wait until you see what my realtors bring to the table. And this is this is a huge year for Salt Lake City, a huge year for Mormons. I mean, we've got this show, we've got this real estate show, we've got the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Mormons are hot again. Like, this is if I was part of the Mormon higher ups, the bishops and all that, I would lean the F in. I'd be like, this is a place to be discovered, to be on reality TV. I'm telling you, you can get people to sign up that way. I don't know if they need help, but I figure all religions need some sort of help. So anyways, that happened. So we got a new show, and then all of a sudden, like slow-mo, and everybody kind of like looks like to the person walking in, and all of a sudden we see this big giant red heart, like top fur piece in a shape of a heart. And this lady is wearing like a white dress with what looks like, I think, like kisses all over the dress. And this is our new housewife. This is Bronwyn and Lisa Barlow. I mean, what a way to make your first appearance. And Lisa Barlow goes, I would expect nothing else. Oh my gosh. You look so beautiful. And she really does look amazing. And Lisa's like, this is my friend Bronwyn. So she's getting introduced to the people that will eventually hate her and she will hate. And Lisa Barlow tells us in a talking head, I met Bronwyn at least 7 years ago. And then Bronwyn, this is her first talking head, and she's wearing this other kind of red. I don't know how to describe outfits, you guys. I'm really highly lacking in fashion sense, but it looks like this red, beautiful carpet, but it's positioned all weird up top, and then she's wearing this beautiful diamond thing that drips down in between the cleavage area. And Bronwyn's like, Lisa will tell you I met her at a Nordstrom years ago. And then we cut back to Lisa Barlow going, and she was looking fabulous. And then back to Bronwyn going, she said something about what I was picking up was cool. And I kind of swatted her away. I didn't need her opinion because she was wearing sweats. Back to Lisa Barlow going, and she was looking at me like, okay, why are you talking to me? What is this little homeless girl talking to me? Back to Bronwyn going, I mean, I don't remember doing that to Lisa, but it does sound like something I would have done. Lisa goes, it was crazy because, we ended up meeting and, everything was great. We had a mutual friend and they were saying, this is Lisa, you should get to know her. So Lisa and I see quite a bit. We see each other quite a bit since then. And we see a picture of them. Lisa goes, I think she's super smart, super fun, witty. And Lisa at the party goes, Heather's like, I'm going to wear a Kisslip Machino dress. And I'm like, I hope it's not the same as Bronwyn's. And it wasn't. And because Bronwyn's like, well, it definitely wasn't Machino. And Lisa goes, oh my gosh. She goes, oh my gosh, I love her love of fashion. That's a very an interesting line as well. I love her love of fashion. And instead of saying somebody's just fashion, oh my God, she is just so fashionable. She goes, I love her love of fashion. It's like that, you might not like the podcast and you go I love that he loves doing the podcast. That's what that felt like to me. And all of a sudden she's like, she does over the top. And then we hear the voice echo over the top, over the top. And then we get 5 days earlier and Bronwyn is stepping out of her SUV. And you guys talk about fashion. She is wearing this old cheetah outfit, but it's like, I don't even know how to describe this. It's like boy shorts, cheetah boy shorts, cheetah, boots that go up to her mid calf, this big puffy cheetah jacket and this cheetah bra thing. And it's got to be so cold. In fact, I think they put up the temperature here in a second. It's 10:16 a.m. and it's 37 degrees. And she's walking with her butt hanging out of these cheetah shorts. I mean, looks great, I guess. I mean, but she also looks like she's going to be in some kind of girl group video. I don't know. So she's meeting Lisa Barlow. So this is 5 days earlier. And Lisa comes in oh my God, I knew you'd be wearing boy shorts. I knew it. I knew it. And Lisa comes in all denim, but she has these little little fur pieces on her wrist area. Anyway, so they sit down and Brown was like, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you too. And Lisa's like, I thought you were going to be in Milan next week. And Bronwyn goes, I was going to, but it's crazy with the snow. But I just did couture in Paris and we see pictures of this in a talking head. Bronwyn goes, funny chaos is kind of my brand, my aesthetic at this point. I don't think I set out for that, but that's where I thrive. And we see pictures of her in Paris, 2024. She goes, I have never desired to look sexy or cool. I am fully dressed right now like a Tim Burton character, and I feel amazing. Thank you for asking. I don't know how to explain this. Oh my God, I love her already. So she's telling Lisa, she goes, I went to two shows in Aspen. We did skiing. Gwen and Todd wanted to ski in Aspen most of my day. That's her family. Most of my day is spent making sure my family gets well taken care of and loved and adored. And there's 6 dogs running around. This is insane. Okay, so it's 6 dogs, all the same type of dog. And their names are Douglas, Zoe, Remy, Freddie, Claire, and what is this name right here? Oh, Petey. So these 6 dogs, and they put up all of their names. And he continued to they are all named after characters from House of Cards. And I was like, zoinks. I was like, how We're only like 9 minutes into this show, and how is it the best thing I've ever seen? I mean, that's a very like, you've got to be really taken with House of Cards. Like, it was a pretty good show. Kevin Spacey, Robin Wright. Like, I seem to remember enjoying it at the time, but I don't think there was ever a point where I was like, fuck, if I ever have kids or like a bunch of dogs, probably I'm going to name it after this show. Like, I was like thinking, I would probably name it after actually a Housewives show, but like, I mean, that's just House of Cards. I just didn't see that coming. Like, were those big? Did that like affect like baby names that year when the House of Cards came out, or was it just like the dog community got affected by House of Cards? Anyways, she lets us know I have a teenager who has a lot of emotions, and I have my husband who is very successful, and he's just a little bit older than me. And we see her husband and her. He is 65. He's a good looking 65, though, I will say in this picture. And she is 38. So I'm not good at math. So you go 65, 38, and for you 5 minus 8, 65, 35, 45. What is this? There's like an 80-year age difference. I just did the math. No, it's like what, 27 years? Is that right? 27-year age difference. You know what? Let people love. Let people love. Anyways. Lisa goes, how is Gwen doing, your daughter? And she goes, she's good. I was telling her that I was coming to meet you. And she was like, remember when you and Jack used to go to concerts together? And then we see a picture of Jack and Gwen for 2020 in 2021. Now, remember, Jack is on his mission right now. And, Bronwyn is saying she can't wait to leave. She's going to be 18 in June. And Lisa's like, they're all grown up now and they want nothing to do with us. And Bronwyn goes, Jack is a boy. So I don't know if you went through this, but now Gwen is now the younger, prettier, smarter version of me that I pay for everything. And Lisa's like, ha 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 ha. And then we hear Lisa's voice echo, my friend Bronwyn, my friend Bronwyn, my friend Bronwyn. And now we are back to Lisa Barlow's Bezos party. Now, Angie K, who is Greek, gets introduced to Bronwyn. They hug. She's in red fur. Angie K's in white fur. And that's when Meredith Marks comes in and with her assistant. And Meredith goes, it's chilly willy. It's very chilly willy in here. It's chilly willy. It's Chilly Willy. And her assistant is Jamie, but it says Jamie, Meredith's friend. And Heather recognizes the assistant and going, oh my God, she used to come to Beauty Lab. Which, by the way, how is Beauty Lab and Laser going? Because I know they opened up a second location. So Meredith is hugging everybody. And Mary asks, where's Whitney? And somebody's like, oh, I think she should be coming. And they get a shot of Lisa like, Whitney. And then we get a shot of like the mountains and the roads in between. And we have Whitney driving in an SUV. And Whitney's like, normally I'd be so excited to see Lisa. She always throws gorgeous parties. But honestly, I was surprised to get the invite because she has a problem with me and she's mad at me. I know that. It's as clear as day. And that's when she's in the car with her friend Melly, who I believe is a friend of as well. And so Whitney goes, so she just hasn't really felt like a safe place in a while for my healing journey. In a talking head, Whitney goes, when it comes to my personal life, the past 6 months have been some of the best months of my entire life. I'm spending a lot of time with my family. I bought a new home. I've been doing a lot of press for my businesses, which are growing. But when it comes to my relationships with my friends, it's a different story. The last time I saw everyone in New York, there wasn't much resolve. We flash back to 3 months earlier with Andy at the reunion going, Heather and Whitney, where are you today? Where are you today? And Heather goes, there's still stuff we're working through. And Whitney's like, yeah, there's many trust issues still. And then we go Angie K yelling, you came after my marriage. And Mary's like, I didn't come after anything. And then Whitney going, you just can't take criticism. And then Lisa Barlow saying, there are so many things I sweep under the rug, Whitney, to make sure we're fine. And Whitney just giving a face like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. She continues in the talking head. And since there's been a lot of distance since then with some of them, especially Lisa. So now Whitney and Melly, they come to the party and Lisa turns around and Lisa in a talking head goes, oh my gosh, she actually showed up. The bitch. And so Whitney's coming in, hugging people, and Lisa's just taking her in like, I can't believe she did a podcast about me. Oh my God, this podcast, Nick the Alley. I can't believe it. And Meredith is also looking at Whitney like she's got a problem with Whitney. And Whitney's coming in like effervescent. She's like, Bob, it's like, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Whitney. Like very excited, like just very happy. So Whitney's walking in with her friend. She's talking to other people. And Heather goes up to Lisa Barlow. It's like, did Whitney say hi to you? And Lisa's like, no, it's so rude. And Heather's like, should I go tell her? No, she'll figure out later that she has bad manners. And Whitney's just there chilling, man. Totally normal. Everybody's still coming in. We hear some fun Bezos music. So Heather's friend Brittany is there now. Brittany, the friend of, gets introduced to Meredith. So this is another friend of. And Brittany kind of looks like, it's like a cross between who is Kyle Richards' friend that was involved in the O.J. Simpson. Why am I blanking on this name? Getting older as a bitch, folks. I should know this name like the back of my hand. She looks a cross between that lady and Leanne Locken from Real Housewives of Dallas. O.J. Simpson, Kyle Richards, who is friend. No, here we go. Yeah, Faye Resnick. It kind of looks like Faye Resnick a little bit. Am I wrong? I think she kind of does look like Faye Resnick. Anyways, she's going to be a friend of this season. She gets introduced to Meredith. Heather says, I've known Brittany for a few years. We've seen each other at events and we have some mutual friends. And that's all it takes to get on this show. Now, she also says she's a messed up Mormon that has been divorced, has been through the ringer. She's dating Jared Osmond. And we see a picture of Jared and her, and they look like a very chic couple. And Heather says, as in Osmond, the nephew of Donnie and Marie. Donnie and flippin' Marie Osmond. Heather says, which in Mormon culture is the equivalent of dating Prince Harry until today. And then we get a flashback from earlier this morning when Brittany calls Heather to say, as of this morning, I am single and ready to mingle, Heather. It's you and me, baby. In Brittany's first talking heads, she says, Jared and I had been dating for 8 months and we've broken up maybe 16 times, I want to say. A lot. So she's like, her and her dude have broken up 60. And Osmond truly at the height of their powers in the 70s and early 80s. I mean, I think they were the cat's pajamas, right? Anyways, she says she's feeling like she's on a hamster wheel of dating other people, breaking up and getting back together. It's like, I'm a crazy person, but there's just something about him. She says, there's just something about him. Maybe it's that big old Osmond dong. Hey, I'm sorry. I will stop right now. Anyways, she goes, he's yummy. And then Meredith is talking to Brittany at the Bezos party. He's like, it's very nice what you're wearing. It's very nice. And Brittany's like, yeah, for the holidays. You know, this was my great grandma's. Are you serious? Yeah, it's like 150 years old. It's a fur coat, 150 years old. Everybody, by the way, is complimenting each other on their like outfit, their furs. They're checking out Heather's outfit with like all the hearts all over it. They're all saying Heather looks amazing. And she says, it's been a long overdue glow up. Modern medicine. That's all I can say. Ozempic. Ozempic, you know. And then we cut to Mary. And Mary, I think, what is this? Like a Louis Vuitton coat. It looks like it's been like tagged, spray painted all over. And Mary and the other fashionista Bronwyn, they have their first scene and they are admiring each other's outfit. And, Bronwyn goes, I love your outfit because I have the same one. And Mary goes, I love that. We'll get along just fine. And they're just laughing about their exquisite fashion taste. And then Brittany comes over, Heather's friend, and sits in between them and goes, Bronwyn, I love your costume. And that was like record scratch. Bronwyn goes, costume? You can't come to this couch with Mary and I and call it a costume. And Lisa goes, no, sorry. Mary goes, that's fashion, honey. Everything Mary says this episode is funny as hell. And Bronwyn keeps going, those are fighting words to Mary and I. This is not a costume. And Brittany goes, why is it fighting words? And Mary goes, because we don't wear costumes. We don't wear costumes. We wear fashion. In a talking head, Mary goes, who is this? Back in the scene goes, that is so like fashion, what Bronwyn, and then she goes, she's the one that looks like she's in a costume. She looks like a German shepherd she looks like a German shepherd with a fur coat. It looks like she took 17 German shepherds to the groomer and then she made a coat and then dyed it burgundy, Mary says. And then back in the scene, Brittany goes, I love fashion. And Mary continues, something wasn't right. Like the texture, it was, Brittany goes, tell me about your outfit, Bronwyn. And Bronwyn goes, first, okay, yes, this is Saint Laurent. And there's 3 of them. I have one, and we see her in the picture. Rihanna has one, and there's one in a museum. So it's me, Rihanna, and the museum heart fluffy dress. And Brittany's just like, okay, yeah, okay. And Bronwyn goes, you can love it or you can hate it, but it's not a costume. I will tell you that much. And then Mary jumps in. She's like, I have a whole office. Like it's my office upstairs. And it's just clothes. And we see Mary's office. And, we've seen this area before. It's usually back in the day in like the first season and a little bit in the second season, right? When nobody would do scenes with her. So she would just have scenes with the mannequins in this office. She'd be like talking to a mannequin head or one of her like housekeepers. But Mary says at this point, it's an archive. At this, and Mary says, I feel like when I was younger, I had 5 siblings. She lets us know. And we never had enough. And then Brittany goes, so you became like a hoarder. Mary goes, not a hoarder, babe. That's a little much. And Brittany goes, no, but I just, and Brom was like, Brittany and these words. Brittany, we got to get Brittany a thesaurus. And Mary goes, I buy enough. I buy enough. And Brittany keeps trying to save herself. She's like, no, I just meant the scarcity. Kind of like, I grew up poor, Brittany says. And Mary goes, well, I wasn't poor. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say I was poor. No. And Brittany goes, well, I grew up poor. And then in the talking head, Bronwyn goes, I now know that fashion is not Brittany's thing. And I'm also learning that words are not Brittany's thing. Brittany continues, I come from 5 siblings and I found myself hiding rolls in my purse to take it home. And you would think that Mary just saw someone throw up in front of her. She's like, you put what? You put rolls in your purse? What? And she was like, yeah, we would take them home. And Mary goes, I would never do that. I would never do that. And Brittany goes, oh, well, I did that. And Bronwyn goes, that's totally okay. It's so, and Mary goes, no, that's not okay. That's not okay at all. I don't think that's okay. Putting food in your purse? And Bronwyn goes, I mean, and Mary goes, no, if you did, it's you. And Brittany goes, well, if you grew up poor, you would understand. And there's just like a tension between Mary. And she just goes, okay, I'll be right back. And gets up. She's like, I can't take much more of this. And Brittany just tells Bronwyn, oh, I think I offended Mary. And then all of a sudden we flash back to 3 weeks earlier and Meredith Marks is like laying in bed, fully done up. She looked like her lips look really plump. Her brows look really dark. Just very done up for laying in bed. And she's talking to Heather Gay, who is at her bedside. And she says, I've been getting a lot of surgeries and I've gone back in to redo this now 3 times with my breasts because my natural breast tissue keeps growing. And Heather's like, oh, and Mary's like, it's not funny. It's not funny. I started out as a small C and I grew to a triple D, and I grew to a triple D. And so she keeps having to get these breast reductions. And the whole time says like, I like to no, come on. We don't need no reduction. We're only going up, baby. No, come on. Are you kidding me? I need those things bigger and bigger. But Heather goes, "Oh yeah, no matter what I do, how thin I get, my natural breast tissue just keeps growing." And Meredith's laughing like, "These are caviar problems, I guess." My huge honking tits. So Heather goes, "So you're just hanging out, like spending your days, just?" And she's like, "Well, I've been working on the phone, but I don't know. I'm still kind of like figuring out where I stand." I was like, "Yeah, I feel you. The way things headed at the end of Bermuda were really disappointing to me, Heather Gay. Really hurtful, obviously." And we flash back to that trip. And remember, everybody was coming at Meredith. Remember? Like Angie K. There was all of these rumors. Meredith could have put out that information about Angie K trying to tie her to the mob. It really was a bunch of insanity. And Heather goes, "They were all gunning for you." And Meredith's like, "Exactly." And then it was like, "We all met up in New York," which was the reunion. I always like that they keep saying we met up in New York. No, you went to do a reunion. It wasn't like you're like, "We met up at the Cheesecake Factory." And Meredith goes, "And I understand that everybody had larger issues than me because of Reality Von Cheese. But nothing really got addressed that pertained to me. And this is the thing with Whitney. Last year, Whitney decided to launch a jewelry collection. And we flash back to 1 year earlier at Whitney's jewelry launch. Like, Prism came into my life. I hope you love the jewelry line as much as we do. And then Meredith in the bed goes, "And then this year in New York, I said in front of everybody that I was going into bath products. Now she's launching a bath product." And we see Whitney Rose's Wild Rose product line, her bath bomb. And the advertisement says, "For the girl who likes to take baths, dot, 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 in clean tubs alone. Wild Rose bath bomb." And it's Whitney with a glass of wine in a bathtub, and it's cute. Anyways, but this is Meredith's thing. She's like, it's like she just wants to step on my toes and my very large growing breasts. She's like, it's hurtful. Like the bath is my thing. Everybody knows it. When they say Meredith Marks, what do you say? You say bath because I've done every flipping scene in a bath. There's no, it goes together like peanut butter and chocolate. It's bath. And if I said, don't come after my bathtub, Whitney, now I got to say, don't come after my bath products. And Heather goes, "Do you think she got the idea from you?" And Meredith goes, "Of course she did. Are you kidding me? She sees a $1 billion idea like that. It's an attack on me." It's a God. The only thing that would make this better, this scene, is if Meredith was drinking. So we can get Sugar, fuck off. You can leave with your bath bombs. This is an attack. I'm taking a terrorist. Whitney Rhodes is a terrorist on bath products. Now, I got to tell you, folks, I'm a dude. I only, have some basic, products, but I will say that I've seen bath bombs, I feel like for, close to a decade, if not longer now. And it seems like everybody has. I know that I do associate Meredith with bathtubs, but I didn't know Meredith. I must have missed that. I didn't know Meredith. I knew she had a caviar line. I knew that. I knew she had the jewelry collection, but I didn't know that she, the bath thing. And so I feel like it's like that 3-wick candle. These are great arguments because it's so low stakes, but they treat it like it's the end of the world. And that is so great for shows like this. So now we come back to the Bezos party, and and Meredith is just like, this bitch Whitney still hasn't come and said hi to me because she just fucking stole my bath bomb idea. She can't even fucking face me. I just can't believe this. I can't believe this. Sorry. We come back from commercial, and Lisa Barlow is telling all the ladies that she's like, Jack is doing so good on his mission. And they're like, does he like Colombia? Oh my God, he's obsessed with Colombia. And I feel like it's like teaching him a lot of things. Like they have the coolest bookstores and barbershops, and the music stops. And in a talking head, Lisa goes, Jack has been on his mission for almost 8 months. I miss him crazy every day. And we see a picture of Jack, who is now 19 on his mission, given a peace sign at El Chato, which I think is like a very nice restaurant. I'll get it. Lisa continues, the only way we get to communicate is Facebook messages and phone calls once a week. I love hearing him grow and to see his priorities change. And for him to still be like cool Jack, but with a purpose. He tells the ladies that he goes, Jack found 2 Michelin star restaurants in Bogota. And it's like so cheap. So I'm like, wait, save that one for when dad and I come pick you up. Okay, this is where I get a little confused. Like, I was raised around Mormons and these missions. I had friends that went on missions, and it's intense, you guys. Maybe the Mormon church has gotten like a lot less strict, but it wasn't like it wasn't like save the Michelin star. Don't eat at that Michelin star restaurant on your mission without me. It wasn't like that at all. Even in Heather Gay's book, when she describes her mission, like she snuck off like towards the very end to go see the movie Titanic, and I think she thought she was like not going to get to heaven because of it, and that was like a big deal for her. But like Jack is out there going to Michelin star restaurants. He's like giving peace signs and I mean, and by the way, the kid is cool as hell. Like, I mean, there's nothing, but I just am so confused. This mission seems, I mean, it's probably already awesome if you think you're helping people, but this, like, he's just like popping bottles. Lisa goes, I'm not going to cry, even though I feel like it, because my makeup's so good. But like, honestly, I miss him. She tells the ladies, goes, he literally has been going to all the best coffee shops. You're not supposed to drink caffeine. That's part of the, like, I even know that. We just watched Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You're not supposed to drink caffeine. God, that's not, God. I'm so, and even Bronwyn goes, that doesn't sound like the Mormons I know. He DMs you. He's buying coffee. This is not the Mormonism that I was raised in. I grew up Mormon. My parents are both converts to the church and raised my siblings and I as Mormon from when I was a little girl. My parents are both very devout. They expected all of us to be baptized, and my brother went on a mission, and all of their kids went to BYU, some with more success than others. Me. And we see Bronwyn in a picture with a Burger King crown on from 2006. It looks very different from the Bronwyn that is here in front of us today, which, by the way, do you think Bronwyn Wyndham Burke got like PTSD here? Like she's hearing Bronwyn all of a sudden again. She's like, oh my God, Bravo's interested in it again. And then she's realized it's like a whole new Bronwyn. But she lets us know that she got kicked out of BYU. And I was like, oh my God, was she a good time girl like Heather? Like, how did she get kicked out? What's the story there? Anyways, Lisa goes, imagine the little side hustle there. It's so cute. So cute. Man, by the way, this is what I'm saying. It's good for the church because it makes me want to go to the church. I'm like, fuck, I want to go to Bogota and like Michelin star restaurants and check out the coffee shops. It just sounds like a nice lifestyle. Anyways, Melly, Whitney's friend, the friend of Melly, I guess they ran in the same circles in college, her and Whitney. So that's how she's part of this group. And the whole time, Meredith is just clocking this. You can just tell she's like, "You freaking bitch with your fucking bath bombs? Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me?" Angie asks Whitney and Melly if they're the same age. They are. And Angie's like, great, great. And now Meredith is starting to kind of like skulk over. And Meredith finally comes over to Whitney. And when he's like, hi, Meredith, hi. And Meredith like kind of just confronts her and goes, so I have to ask, like, what is up with your bath bombs? And Whitney just like blankly stares and then kind of puts her neck and it's like, the bath bombs? Bath bombs? And Meredith goes, bombs, not bombs, bombs, bombs. My bath bombs? It's like, who's on first? And Meredith goes, it's so strange to me because in New York, Whitney, I'm like, I'm launching a bath collection. And we flash back to that reunion again. And she said they were talking about their warm and fuzzies, and it was her talking about churning the butter and shaking up the butter last season. And Angie K goes, she's going to launch a butter line. I can feel it. And then Meredith goes, a butter bath line. And then they give a shot of Whitney that we're supposed to think that Whitney's like, I'm going to steal that bath idea right there. This is the idea I will steal. and then I will buy my family a new home. So Meredith goes, you launched jewelry last year. You launched bath this year. After I said I was doing it, what is your problem with me? I have no problem with you. I think that you're reading way too much into this. And she's like, Whitney goes, this is definitely serving deja vu. And we flash back to last season when Meredith, they were fighting at a ski slope, and Meredith's like, I thought we were in a neutral, peaceful zone, Whitney. And the next thing I'm seeing is I'm like dirty and gross. That was a funny joke, Meredith. No, it was a jig on my marriage and a jig on my bathtub. Remember, I think it was something to do with like her and Seth getting all naughty in the bathtub. Remember that? It was like, he's like, put your toe up my bum, Meredith. Whitney goes, I am genuinely concerned that Meredith is spending too much time in the bathtub because I think everything is starting to shrivel up and prune. Not those boobs. Hey-o! Meredith goes, the message I'm telling you, I want to be your friend. I don't want to be on your friend based on your reactions and your history. And Whitney goes, because I launched a bath bomb? Are you kidding me? I love you as a friend. I don't want to hurt you. If you love me as a friend, you would have picked up the phone and said, hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm doing this. If you were a friend, you would have known that I already sold bath bombs. You bought Iris and Bo and put it in your store. You did. And they were bath bombs. And Meredith's like, Zoinks? What? It's like, you didn't have bath bombs when I bought it. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. But you didn't buy bath bombs from me. And then she's, because I didn't know they existed. They were never presented to me because I didn't see bath bombs. Because I don't see bath bombs in a jewelry store, Meredith. And Meredith's like, but you saw skincare in a jewelry store. And then Mary clocks this. And Mary in a tongue goes, why are you fighting over bath bombs? And why are you fighting over tubs? Like, I don't trust baths. Like, I don't sit in bathtubs. Like, I don't want the yeast infection. You know what I mean? Just saying. Fuck, dude. We've got to get Mary involved in like healthcare. Like, I feel like she could save this country from. I need Mary's take on vaccines. I need Mary. I mean, can you get a yeast? Is that how you get the yeast infection from the bathtubs? I mean, and then imagine if Brittany was just throwing the rolls from the purse in the bathtub with Mary, it'd be like our worst nightmare. It'd be like that movie Saw, where like the puppet's like, get in the bathtub, But Whitney in this scene goes, but I don't think it's fair that you like accuse me of like bad behavior. I don't want to be your friend. Like, I could argue that I don't know that we're friends because I never hear from you. And Mary's like, well, yes, perhaps that's because know what would happen last year. I was held accountable for all the things Reality Von Teese did, particularly by you. And when he's like, well, you don't get to, and Heather is watching this with her like eyes wide open. Everybody's kind of just catching wind of this conversation. And we flash back to 2 weeks earlier with Lisa Barlow and Angie K. And Heather goes, I went to Meredith's house and she's got unsettled feelings from New York. She feels like she didn't get any apologies. And Angie goes, well, I feel like I'm owed an apology. And then we have Angie Cannon talking to goes, last year, Meredith was involved in conversations and side conversations about my business, my marriage, me being part of the Greek mafia. By the way, I do want to point out this is the first time she has said she's Greek in the episode. So that's awesome. And Angie K goes, I wish she could just apologize and move on. I'm with you, Angie K. When he goes, I don't know who you're talking about, Meredith, or what you're alluding to, but what I'm sorry about is not calling you and being like, where's your address? Where can I ship you some of my bath bombs? You're going to love them. I should have called you to get a postal address, so you could have Whitney Rose Wild Rose bath bombs to enjoy, because I know you like baths. So when he goes, enjoy your bath. Anything else? Is there anything else, Meredith? And Angie K's like, okay, hey, can I have a minute to talk to Meredith? Can I hop in here? And Whitney goes, do you just not want to be my friend? Or I'm so confused. And Meredith goes, I'm processing what you're saying because And then Angie's like, wait, I want in on this. Okay. I mean, same to you though. I need to talk to you, Meredith. Angie K says, Heather made me aware that you are wanting, and this is like pro wrestling, man. You have one fight and then somebody tags in to get involved in this fight, but an offshoot of that fight. And then in the final scene, you see everybody just like tagging in, tagging out. Like it's like a really messed up ballet. So she's like, Heather made me aware that you are wanting an apology from me. And, I'm happy to give you an apology, Meredith. And she reaches into her purse. And you guys, there is a GD scroll. There's a damn scroll. A beautiful scroll. I felt like we were in olden times. It was like, dun da da da. We are announcing Queen Angie K with a message. She takes out a fucking scroll. Holy, and Meredith clocks it like, and she's not even surprised. She's like, well, it's a scroll. It's obviously a scroll. I've had this coming for a while. I knew the scroll was going to be a part of this at some point. So Angie K and by the way, if Angie K had done this last season, because I remember, like I said, that Barbie shirt that she made at the Palm Springs because she didn't get one. She was pissed about that. She made one with like marker and there was a little prop, and I didn't love that. But like, I'm warming up to Angie K in the second season, and I don't mind this usage of a prop. Like, it's so bizarre. She takes out the scroll and she's like, here's a few things that I would like an apology for. And the scroll just drops to the ground. And she's like, so number one, and everybody's like, Meredith's like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? I fucking talking about bath bombs. And everybody, like, the music stops and everybody's just like, whoa, a scroll. There's even a shot of a horse, and you can just tell the horse is going, holy shit, did she just pull out a scroll? It's amazing. And Whitney's like, Angie has a scroll. And Lisa Barlow goes, why does Angie have a scroll? I love that they all know the word. Like, she's got a scroll. Oh my God, scroll alert. Oh my God. And Meredith goes, yes, she's got a list of made up shit. And Angie's like, it's not made up, Meredith. I don't make up things that I put on my ancient scrolls. No, you can leave, Angie K. I ruined the day I ever got you into this cast. We come back from break, and Angie, in a talking head, unveils the scroll again. And I freeze framed on this to try to read some of the things on here. And it says, encouraging people to sue me and take my home just in time for the holidays. Christmas at the soup kitchen. I don't know what that means. Suggesting I'm involved in organized crime. And then it blurs out like 3 lines. So I don't know what that one is. But then the next one says, which, by the way, my business partners would like an apology for that one too. So it's something to do with her business. And then she writes threatening rumors, perpetuating narratives, and perpetuating narratives on SM Twitter, my husband apology, exclamation point. So that's what I got in the freeze frame. So there's a lot of things that she would like an apology from Meredith on. So Lisa's like, why does Angie have a scroll? And Angie tells Meredith, you're suggesting that I'm involved in organized crime. No, I did not. Yes, you did. Number 2, encouraging someone to sue me and take my home. I did not say that either. And then Lisa's like, did she like bring notes? And then Angie's like, number 3, running rumors about my family, about my business. That did not happen, Angie K. And and Whitney goes, where did Angie find a scroll? And even Mary goes, Angie brought a scrolled list of things that Meredith has said. And Lisa's like, why is she brought the scroll? And Heather goes, this is some calculated shit. We see each one of these ladies goes, a scroll. It's like spreading like wildfire, a scroll. And Bronwyn goes, that's fancy. And then Heather's like, she had to go to the place to get it, the supplies, cut the paper, make a scroll, catalog every grievance she's ever had. And Mary's like, she found glue, she found a stick, she rolled it on, had a little string on it. And then Heather goes, and then stashed it in her purse like a hidden weapon. Mary goes, she is a hard worker. She works hard. And she has a lot of time. Probably too much time. Mary's amazing. Angie K goes, Meredith, you told someone to sue me. She said, no, I did not. And you told someone to take my house. And we flash back to the reunion where Monica says, remember when she fell down at Angie K's house? And Angie goes, oh yeah, Meredith told me that, I could sue her and take her house for falling at her house. And Meredith at the reunion goes, I did not say you could take her house. I would never say that. I would never said that. I said it could be a potential liability. Absolutely. Yes. Anyways, in this scene, she tells Angie K, I didn't say that. And Angie's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. And then Meredith, instead, she's probably been warned not to say I'm disengaging anymore. Like she probably gets charged $100 every time she says that in a scene and walks off. She doesn't say that. She goes, I'm finished, and just walks off. And then Angie's like, I still would like an apology. I thought what Meredith saw the list of things that I wanted an apology for, she could laugh it off. But Meredith has no sense of humor. And I think that went down the drain with her dirty bathwater. Hey-o! Bath bombs. Okay. So Lisa's like, everybody, I need you all to pay attention. We're going to have dinner now. We're going to have our food. So she gathers everybody around, all the ladies. She goes, I love having my girlfriends. I love getting us all together. With Jack gone and John traveling so much, it's like so important for me to like lean on my girlfriends. And so many of you check in on me all the time and are there to support me. And I love you all so much. But I don't love podcasts. She literally, like, you couldn't see this coming a mile away. I thought it was a beautiful speech that she did, but I don't love podcasts. And then it's just like, everybody's like, okay. And then she points at Whitney. She's like, we've got to work some things out, girl. We've got to work some things out. I don't love podcasts. Like, I legitimately, Whitney's done a lot of, she's done this podcast. I'm sure she's confused what I don't love podcasts, which, by the way, now that I'm thinking, what happened to Meredith and Seth's podcast? Remember that? Like, what was it, like hanging by a thread with Meredith and Seth? That was like one of their storylines last season. The podcast, was it just used for a storyline and was never meant to be a real podcast? I've got questions. Anyways, Lisa continues, goes, but anyways, I have a beautiful dinner prepared for everyone inside. So freezing was worth it. Let's open the gates. Happy Bezos. And so the gates like, it makes all that gate sound. Let's go eat, everybody. And the place really does look beautiful. Now, the seating arrangement, Mary Cosby is already freaking out because she has been placed next to Brittany. And Mary in a talking head goes, I don't want to sit next to Brittany. She's going to be sticking bread in my purse. I can't even relax. I'm going to stick bread in my purse in Mary Cosby's purse? She had to do it recently because when you're little, you don't have a purse, which is like actually kind of brilliant of Mary to think about that, because Brittany did say, I used to put rolls in my purse. And Mary goes, when you were a little kid, you usually don't have purses. Is Mary Cosby like a detective of the level of like Kristen Doty? She could be. Like, what if Mary just crushes it this season? Anyways, everybody's, sitting down. Heather is next to Lisa Barlow. We see the drinks being served, the food being served. Everything so far is kind of joyous. Everybody's having a good time, eating the food, stealing the bread, the rolls. The food looks very food artsy. I don't know. Everybody's loving it. So they're trying to explain who brought who. And Heather goes, I brought Brittany. And Brittany is going through a little bit of a breakup. She tells Bronwyn, and Brittany's like, it's really Brad. And so Lisa throws fabulous parties, and it was a perfect chance to show her a village of women, Heather says. And Brittany goes, I needed this. And then Whitney asks Bronwyn, do you have kids? And Bronwyn's like, yeah, I have a daughter myself. She's 17. And then I have 2 stepkids who are my husband's from his first marriage. And they were like adults when I met them. And Whitney's like, we actually have a lot in common. I have stepkids. And Bronwyn's like, are they your age? And Whitney's like, my oldest stepson is 5 years younger than me. So I'm closer in age to all my stepkids than my husband. And Bronwyn was like, my husband doesn't love when I say this, but my stepson is 6 months older than me. Ha ha ha. And Whitney's like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then then Melly goes, you're the hot mom. And Bronwyn goes, not to him. In a talking head, she goes, when we were first getting to know each other, I never felt this huge discrepancy in our ages. I don't wake up every day and say, good morning, Todd, who's 26 years older than me. Like, it just doesn't cross my mind. We see old pictures of them as a couple, and I'm telling, Bronwyn looks so different. I mean, she looks so great now. Not that she didn't look, she just looks so different. Anyway, she tells the ladies, everybody thought I wasn't cute enough to be a trophy wife when we got married. And I was like, I'm still here 10 years later. You know what I mean? And they have these like two guitar players, like electric guitar players at this event, just strumming. And, not even acoustic. These are like plugged in electric guitars. And I can only imagine these two. I mean, I don't know. What is this, like Train? Like, who is this? Is this Nickelback? Like, they're just strumming awkwardly. And I'm like, well, you needed electric guitars? It's like, Salt Lake City Blues. They're joking about the scroll. Angie K has it, and she's like spanking people with it. And Heather goes, I think that was a bad foot to start out on, honestly, Angie K, And Angie goes, no, it was a response. You told me she wanted an apology, and so do I, right? And Meredith hears that goes, I already apologized to you multiple times, Angie K. I'm not engaging with you. So she does the engaging, but not disengaging, but she still was able to use engaging. She's like, I'm not engaging with your antics. And Angie K goes, go ahead and ignore me. It's easier to do that. And Whitney goes, I don't know what's going on. Are you talking about the scroll? And Melly's like, yeah, we're still talking about the scroll. We're still, And Angie goes, Meredith turns away because she's fucking guilty. And Heather goes, you resolved it, Angie K. And Angie K goes, we never resolved her fucking telling someone to take my house. Is that cool? I have a daughter. She needs a house. She needs a roof. Oh, we're going to be on the mean streets of Salt Lake City? No, that's not going to fly on my Greek mafia watch, which, by the way, I know she isn't involved in the Greek mafia, but sometimes I'm like, man, she would be really good. Like, just from what I've seen of the mafia in the movies, she'd potentially be really good at it. Anyways, Meredith's like, oh, God. And Angie's like, don't try to downplay it, Meredith. What did I do to you, Angie? What did I do? And Angie's like, telling people you should sue for my house. She keeps saying it. She must have been told to say this over and over again because she's now brought it up 30 times. And Mary's like, listen, I didn't tell her to take your house. That is absurd. And she's like, you did. We are so finished. And he's like, we are finished. Just leave me alone. No, you leave me alone. You live your life. I'll live mine. And we will be peaceful and happy. And Angie K goes, live it. And Mary's like, I will. And then Angie K lets this fucking bomb drop. She goes, live it in your fucking rental. And everybody's like, whoa, in your fucking, because, Meredith has been proven to only rent the properties because in reality, Meredith kind of lives in New York, if everybody's not aware. Anyways, Bronwyn is like, okay, can you just say, we'll draw a line right here and we're going to start from here. So Bronwyn already trying to be a peacemaker between these two women. That's a strong start for a first season housewife. And Bronwyn goes, we're not going to talk about the past anymore. So can we just draw a line and keep going? And Heather Gay is like laughing to herself because remember, Heather Gay is ultimately a big Bravo fan. So she knows how good this is. We've got a bath bomb fight. We've already got like, you're in a fucking rental. You're a poor. We've got a scroll. We got Mary talking weird shit. I mean, it's truly all of these elements combined are amazing. And Angie's like, well, I don't want anyone talking about my house. And Brown was like, but you're still talking about it. And she's like, look, I fucking own my home. I live in it. So Braun was like, let's draw a line now then. And Andy's like, yes, let's do it now. And I almost thought they were going to be like on 3. 1, 2, 3, line drawn. But Angie keeps going. You don't tell someone to sue someone for their house. And I'm just saying, I don't want a renter talking about my home that I own anymore. I don't want a filthy fucking renter. Oh man, that's my yeast infection. People that rent. Those filthy rent. I own. I don't even rent to own. I just own. I love the contempt she has for renters. I love it. And this hurts Meredith. But Bronwyn goes, okay, so from here, drawing a line means we don't go back. And Angie's like, I'm just trying to make it clear. And Heather puts her napkin over her face, and Angie turns to Whitney and goes, it's fucked up, right? And Whitney's like, yes, it is. It is. It's very fucked up. We come back from break and we are no longer talking about renting versus owning. And they're serving the food, and Mary Cosby gets her place, sat down, and she's like, this is vegan, right? And they're like, Mary, are you vegan? And Mary's like, I try to be. And Melly's like, that's very cool. And Mary's like, is there the right dressing on this? Thank you so much. And Mary in a talking head goes, I don't want to eat the big meat at this party, Lisa's big slab of meat. I don't want that big piece of meat living in my colon for the next 6 months. And we see Lisa eating the meat. And Mary's like, I think about my insides. It's like a plant. You can't lodge a piece of meat in your colon and think it's going to come out in a week. I mean, she's like, nobody's thinking about their health. I'm telling you. I think I might have a fever or something. And the only cure is for more Mary Cosby, because she is making a shit ton of sense. She's right. I mean, she's totally right about the meat living in your colon. I mean, like, now she's like this health guru. I mean, how did I go from what's going on? Am I getting indoctrinated? Like, is Mary Cosby, I feel like I'm being groomed to like Mary Cosby all of a sudden. Because those meat, I love big pieces of meat, but they do stay in your colon. And you're right, Mary Cosby. Nobody here is thinking about their overall health. Anyways, Lisa comes up to make another speech. She's like, kisses for everybody. Bezos. Cheers, cheers, cheers. And they're like, thanks, Lisa. Amazing night. Amazing. It's like, Bezos, Bezos. And then Whitney goes, Lisa, in your cheers outside, you brought up the podcast thing. Did you mean the hit podcast So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey? No, I didn't. I meant another Nick the Alley's podcast. But Lisa goes, yeah, yeah, I did say that. And Whitney's like, so what's going on? I feel like you have a problem with me and podcasts. I do have a problem with you. Your podcast was not about you. It was about me. Well, I think that you're self-absorbed, so you heard it was about yourself. Heather looks over like, zoinks. And Lisa's like, I think that when you learn how to take care of yourself, Whitney. And Heather goes, Whitney, that is completely uncool. And Lisa continues, she's like, you'll understand that people that love themselves take care of themselves. That's part of self-love. Take care of yourself. Lisa Barlow, you've told us since day one, you eat like 3 fast food meals a day. Like, your insides must be like a chalupa at this point. And by the way, I'm not ripping on that. Like, that's, I've lived like that so long, but look at me and your body, like, you look amazing. Like, whatever you're doing, keep it up. Eat more Taco Bell. But I am saying, like, in terms of like, a healthy body, anyways. Whitney goes, yeah, I do that too. And then Lisa brings up Whitney's healing journey. It's like, and with your healing journey, you would think you'd know that by now. And that's where Whitney draws the line. You will not talk about my healing journey. And she's like, I do know that by now, but can you tell me what part of the podcast you're upset with? Oh my gosh, where do we start? Because that podcast was 2 hours long. I didn't talk about you for 2 hours. Well, you talked about me enough. And there's a shot of Bronwyn going, oh, she did. Do you want to say you're sorry, Whitney? Well, I need to know what offended you. If you're going to lie about me, expect me to tell the truth about myself. I am not a liar, Lisa Barlow. What did I lie about? You went on a podcast and bashed me. You're upset that I didn't speak roses about you on the podcast? You lied about me to disparage my character. That bothered me. I have not lied. Lisa, my experience isn't a lie. That's not lying. That's my experience of you. It's hard for Lisa to hear from her friends when they disagree with her. The idea that Lisa's calling me a liar over how I feel is narcissist 101. Eat your art out, Tom Sandoval. You can't tell someone what they're lying about, their feelings. It's like me saying to Lisa, Diet Coke isn't the best. You're lying. Diet Coke is not the best. Diet Pepsi is the best. You fucking liar. I'm telling you, man, I love Whitney this season. And she's right. If you like, by the way, Diet Coke is the best. And if somebody says Diet Pepsi is the best, I know I have a lot of listeners overseas, and a lot of people reached out when I said Diet Coke is the best, and they're like, oh, we love Diet Pepsi. And I'm like, what is going on, man? I mean, there's not even a contest. Diet Coke is so far ahead of Diet Pepsi. Like, I could do a whole hour on just that alone. Anyways, back in the scene, Whitney goes, I think that if I don't kiss every part of your asshole, that I'm not good enough friend for you. And we have a shot of Bronwyn going, dear God, did I just heard the word asshole? And Brittany's laughing. She's like, ah. And Whitney's like, I have owned everything I've ever said about you, good or bad. You know what? You keep bringing it up. It was brought to me this week. Wait. We're going back a minute. What did you hear that I said this week? And Whitney's like, huh? What did I lie about? Let's start there. No. Who told you? Because it had to be you. And she points at Angie K. Judas, Angie K. So now we've got Lisa Barlow and Angie K potentially in something. This Angie K is making moves right and left. And, you can tell Angie K gives a look like, do not make me pull out a fucking Lisa Barlow scroll, because you know I will. I got backup scrolls. I got backup scrolls right here. And then Lisa goes, it's you, Angie K, or you, Heather Gay. And Heather's like, oh, about the conversation we had. And Whitney's like, just silence. Everybody's silent. Who told you? Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Voice echoing. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. And then we go to a flashback at Whitney's new house. And guess who it is? It's Angie K with a new, like a housewarming gift. So now we know it was Angie K that told Whitney. She's her first, like, congratulations. I'm so honored to be your first visitor. And Angie's like, I mean, this looks expensive, Whitney. It's beautiful. I mean, this is amazing. And then we see Angie K talking to Whitney going, I went on a little walk with Heather and Lisa. And Whitney's like, our two little besties. And Lisa went on to tell me about the fact that you did this podcast and that you were calling her a villain and that you were being negative about her. And I stand by everything I said. Angie was like, yeah, that was your truth. So back to this scene. Who told you? Who told you? And Lisa goes, you've been hearing things, and there's only two people that I've talked to, and it's her and her. Who did you hear it from? I'm not speaking till you listen to me. So it will be a standoff. And then there's Western music. I wish the guitar players came in, the electric guitar, like, meow. And so now, like, Lisa Barlow's just staring with the heat of 1,000 suns, trying to fire start with Whitney with her eyes. And then Heather goes, I said nothing to Whitney. Not a word. I said nothing to Whitney. It was in the vault. And then she points at Angie K. She's like, did you tell Whitney about the conversation that you had with me and Heather? And Angie's like, which part? All of it. Which Angie K goes, which part? And then Meredith goes, clearly she did. Shut up, renter. I will only be taking comments from people that own houses. And then Angie's like, well, I talked to her about a part of it. Is that what okay, yeah, I did talk to her about a part of it. And Lisa's like, do you want to start this right now? Do you really want to start this? I am isolated right now. I feel isolated. I have no one to talk to because you're both going to like, and now they're just all fighting over each other. Like Angie K, Lisa Barlow. And this, I kind of figured out why this works so well is this completely reminds me of early seasons of Real Housewives of New York. And if you listen to the show long enough, I used to talk about all the time how what made that show amazing. And sometimes this really annoys people, but for me, I love it because I grew up reading like David Mamet plays where they were all written where you would just speak dialogue over each other. And I love that. And Real Housewives of New York used to do it best. You'd have like 5 women arguing over each other and they'd all be saying different things. And you would watch it 5 different times and see a scene 5 different ways based on who you were trying to listen to. And this is what they're like. They have that same kind of magic here. And Lisa Barlow's like, I don't trust anybody. You're going to run. You're going to tell my secrets. You've said plenty, you know? And Lisa's like, it's not about who says plenty. It's about you repeating what I said. That's what it's about. Don't do that to me. And when he's like, you're isolating yourself, Lisa Barlow. And Lisa's like, are you involved in this? Are you involved in this? Come on. And then somebody says, you're both talking over each other. Angie K, do you want to be involved in this? And Lisa Barlow stands up now, stands up. And Angie's like, Lisa, you don't need to stand up. I can hear you. I can hear you. I feel like Lisa's about to pull out like a bat from under the table. Oh, do you want to do this right now? Do you want to? I own my motherfucking house. And she's like, I don't want to do this right now. And Lisa's like, then stop talking. Let's stop talking. Zip it right now, Angie K. And Angie's like, I've been very calm. I've been very kind. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, why are you talking through this? Why am I talking? Because you vented to me. And Lisa's like, yeah, and she lied about me. And Whitney's like, what did I lie about? What did I lie about? And Lisa goes, I had your back, Angie K. You can have mine right now. In a talking head, she goes, listen, it's isolating to feel like I'm in a friendship. You can't be 100% with who you are as a friend because they're not going to keep it in confidence. And it saddens me because I've been an amazing friend. I had Angie's back vehemently last year, and now I feel like she's more loyal to Whitney than me. Angie goes, I know you both. And I think, Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong. And Lisa's like, wait, what are you talking about? I am not fucking wrong. I don't want to be lied about. Don't fucking lie about me. And Whitney goes, you lie. And Lisa's like on a roll. She's like, you lie about me. You lie about her. You lie about her. You lie about the guitar players. I don't want you to call me a liar. And then Lisa's just like, she's like rabid. She's like, and you fucking said I fucking slept with somebody I didn't fucking sleep with. I mean, it's so intense. It's so at the Bezos party, the Jeff Bezos party. Now she has a glass or a candle, and she's like, and you fucking lied about somebody I fucking cheated with on my husband with, and slams the candle, like breaks the candle. We've got glass shards everywhere. And we flash back to 2 years earlier when they took that with, I think, that Arizona trip where they were all dressed up in lingerie. And Whitney brings up, remember that rumor about the jazz tickets? She's like, it's rumored that one of your business partners that has the jazz tickets that you've been involved with. And Lisa's like, are you crazy? I'm not crazy. I'm telling you. And then we go to the scene, and when he goes, and I took it back, and I said, I'm sorry. No take backs on jazz blowjobs. I'm just saying that. And Meredith turns out and goes, who just threw that? Who threw the glass? I didn't hear you do that. And when he's like, I have not done anything besides calling you a villain. I've not done anything, which I stand by. I will be your villain, bitch. You are. Game on. Tin roof rusted. Oh my God, the repartee. I will be your villain, bitch. That's a t-shirt, right? Lisa Barlow. If you or John, that's a fucking t-shirt. I will be your villain, bitch. She goes, game on. I'm not asking you to be a villain. You want me to be your villain? I'll be your villain. It doesn't get better than this. Holy moly. We come back from break. We have the same intensity going on, fighting. And Whitney's like, I am not a liar. Do not come after my character, Lisa. Don't come after my character or my healing journey. Do not do that. And Lisa's just, taking it all in. And Whitney's like, I have never lied. And Heather goes, ha, 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 ha. It's like a Joker laugh. She goes, Whitney, I have never lied. And Whitney looks at Heather like, what are you? What? In a talking head, Heather goes, I love Whitney, but this is what drives me crazy. She spins the truth so it fits her own narrative where she can do no wrong. And when he goes, name one thing I've lied about. I've seen Whitney do this time and time again, and it's incredibly frustrating. And Heather in the scene goes, you lied about me in the book. You lied about me and my book. You lied about giving approval. And Lisa goes, you did. You lied about that. I gave you full approval. I read you every goddamn word, Heather says. That is a different conversation. And then Meredith jumps in. Meredith's like, I'm tagging in. She's like, you accuse me of lying about my father's memorial. I forgot about that. Remember when they didn't think Meredith was at the memorial or something, or lied about the dates? So Meredith is like, her memory's jogged. She's like, you accuse me of lying about my father's memorial, and don't get me started on the fucking bath bombs, you bitch. And Whitney goes, that wasn't me. I got caught in their mess. And Meredith's like, excuse me, I am speaking. That was the most hurtful thing a friend has ever done to me. Says that's the hurtful thing that a friend has ever done to Meredith Marks. But may I present once again to the audience.
Meredith can go f herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and her dumb family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes? Fake Meredith is a piece of I have your back and I'm offended by that. You, that piece of garbage whore. I hate her. She's a whore. She's half of New York.
So that, I mean, I would say maybe Meredith in that moment didn't remember that from Lisa Barlow. But once again, that's the complex dynamics that we're dealing with. I mean, this is why, there's skin in the game here. Everybody's just said horrible things about each other. Most of these probably aren't true at all. But Meredith's like, it's the most hurtful thing a friend has ever done to me. And there's a shot of Lisa Barlow eating, so she's like, okay, good. Meredith's tagged in. I can get some sustenance to get in from, get more energy to come at Whitney from the backside. Maybe she's like, it was very hurtful. And then Heather keeps going, you said that I wrote unauthorized material. I am a Pulitzer Prize winning author. I'm Stephen King. Are you kidding me? And then Lisa's like, oh no. Meredith goes, you have accused Mary of running a cult. And then Whitney's like, no, I have not done that. And Mary Cosby's like, wait, what? And Angie's like, you guys are all ganging up. You guys are ganging up. Like Angie's like, you guys are, and they are ganging up. Everybody is just like in there, just like, it is like, I mean, it's like punk rock. And Mary's like, you have accused everyone in our core group of having affairs. And Heather's like, you chased me out of a bar. When he's like, stop, healing journey. And Heather gives her like receipts voice. She's like, you chased me out of a bar. Remember that from last season? And then the producer chased Heather, and Heather goes, just leave me alone. I need to have a think. And Whitney goes, in New York, we addressed this, Heather. And Heather keeps yelling, you said you exploited my vagina. Like screams this. The guitar players are like, wah, wah. And then Lisa Barlow keeps going like, you've resolved the one issue. You lied about me. It's all sides. It's just words floating everywhere. All of it directed at Whitney Rose. But Whitney Rose is not freaking out. She's holding strong. She's like, are you kidding me? What are you talking about? What? And when he just rolls her eyes and groans, like, And Heather's like, that was a fucking lie, which makes you a liar. But at the end of the liar, Lisa Barlow throws a liar. So it's like a chorus of like, liar. And Barlow's like, liar. And Whitney's just staring. And it's silence. Why are you all choosing to pick on me? I don't know why. And Mary's like, well, because, over and over, you do this over and over again. And then there's an excuse. It's a lot, you guys. And Angie's like, yeah, it's like a lot, you guys. It's a lot, isn't it, Angie K? It is a lot. Like, Lisa, I would love to take accountability for something that I haven't already. They're bringing up stuff up from years ago. You should take accountability for the podcast. You should. I gave you grace, but I don't understand what your grace looks like. My grace? Yeah, because in my other relationships, grace doesn't look the same. Because I need to understand what your grace looks like. Well, and she goes, well, I feel like you're in your healing journey. You're morally superior to all of us in this weird way where you're telling us how we should be. I'm just being me. And if you like me and you're my friend, you'll accept me for being me. But I'm not on the same journey as you. We're not on the same journey. And, you know, when he's like, yeah, we're not on the same journey. I don't need to explain my grace to you. I don't need to explain my grace to you. And Bronwyn's like, she doesn't have to act like you to be okay, Whitney. I know, but now she's weaponizing my trauma against me. I would never. Lisa goes, I would never. You're Lisa goes, you're asking for grace, but when are you giving it? And Meredith's just talking. Meredith's like, bad, blah, blah. And when he goes, you just weaponized my trauma against me. I've never done that. And then when he goes, in text messages, you said, keep healing. And we see this text between Lisa and Whitney pop up, and it says, Whitney said Lisa is really mad at her right now for saying that she only thinks about herself at the reunion. Whitney said she's done being in a one-way friendship and is done working on it. I don't know. That doesn't sound like that's from Lisa to Whitney. Anyways, that looks like that's from Lisa. And then you see that Lisa writes, keep healing with 2 prayer emoji hands and a blue heart. And then supposedly this is Whitney writing back going, you are not my storyline. I tried working it out with you. You showed me where to put you. Take care. See you Monday. XOXO. And then it's like the keep healing. I will. You, Lisa, please start. I don't know. It did the text. I think it's a little jumbled. And Lisa goes, I said that because you won't stop and you're doing the thing. You're doing the same thing. And then when he goes, do you want to meet the healed Whitney? The healed Whitney? And Lisa's like, yeah. And Whitney, you guys, guess what she pulls out? A big old middle finger. And she goes, fuck you, Lisa Barlow. Fuck you. You hear this? You want me to turn it up? Like she flips Lisa Barlow off at the Bezos party. And Lisa's like, what? And Mary's like, whoa, the middle finger. And Heather's, oh, Heather, calm down. Heather's like, oh, I've never seen, oh, this is what I'm talking about. Oh my God, the middle finger. And Lisa goes, then you can leave. Bye. There's the door, Whitney. You can leave my partner. And Whitney gets up and Lisa's like, bye, bye. She can leave. You can leave. And when he's like, I'm going home to my new beautiful house and my children. You say whatever you want about us and defend it. And Angie gets up too. And they're like, oh my God, Angie's leaving. Holy shit. And but by the way, Angie K, good. Thank you, Angie K. Thank you for going with Whitney. She shouldn't have to fight this alone. And Lisa's like, oh my God, she told me, fuck you, Lisa Barlow. She gave me the middle finger. Why would I want her to stay? Why would I want her to stay? I will not be called a liar, and I will not allow you to throw my trauma in my face as a weapon. You want my healing journey? Fuck you. This is healed, Whitney. I can stand up for myself. I don't need you. Bye. And then Lisa goes, you can't use your trauma to treat us like shit. You can't do that. So if you need to leave, leave. That was so manipulative. Angie can leave with her because she clearly was involved in this. And then Heather goes, Angie's like my girl. Angie's Whitney's girls. Angie's Whitney's girl now. And Mary's like, well, she's not obvious. She's not your girl, obviously, Heather. And then Meredith gives a cackle. You missed it on that one, honey. And then the last shot is just says Bezos. It has this Bezos sign. And then we get the scenes for the rest of the season, which I've already done that recap of the trailer a couple weeks ago. So go check that out if you just don't want to watch it and you want somebody to explain it to you. That was it, folks. What an episode. My excitement is off the charts. I hope this was okay. My throat is killing me, but man, this was good. I can't wait to talk to other people about this. It looks like we are in for a great season. And there is one more thing that I want to leave you with today. Hold on. This is Lisa Barlow to send us off on a good Thursday. And she was on the Page 6 virtual reality podcast with our buddies Evan and Danny. They do an amazing podcast. Great guys. They had Lisa Barlow on, and they have her singing a song that we're all familiar with one Miss Taylor Swift and Post Malone, a little ditty called Fortnite. Here is Lisa Barlow to play us out.
For the fortnight there we were forever, run into you sometimes, ask about the weather, now you're in my good neighbors. Your wife waters flowers. I wanna kill her. Post, I live in your neighborhood. Like, we're right down the street. Just go down Wasatch. You'll run into my house. And I feel like I could be your Taylor.
Wow. Thank you, Lisa Barlow. Every one of these ladies did an amazing job tonight. We need to thank them profusely for what is shaping up to be a great season of Salt Lake City. We're going to have the OC recap on Saturday. We have tons of episodes this week, tons of Patreon. Thanks for being a baddie. Thanks for being with us today. And I hope you enjoyed some of this, at least.